Hello and welcome to my classroom. So today I want to show you a technique on how to do 3D elements with our Luxio range in gel polishes. I bet you didn't know that, did you? That you can do 3D elements with gel polish? Well, here's the proof. Have a look. It's a beautiful double bow. It's actually got 8 little loops, 4 on the bottom here. It's also got the ribbons made of gel polish. There's another one I created earlier in the red. And I've inserted a beautiful diamante crystal in the center just to finish it off and give it that spark that it deserves. I bet you're keen on finding out how to make those. So here we go. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and I've got my tip to prepare. I've gone and buffed the the gloss off the tip, so my product sticks to it best. And I've used the Akzentz buffer. I've got here, for a base color, I'm going to use the Prim color in the Luxio range. It's a beautiful neutral color. And I feel the bow will look and stand out on this color really nicely. Look how beautifully pigmented this color is. I'm going to cure it in the lamp for 30 seconds. Whilst that's curing, I'm going to tell you what else we'll be using today. So I'm going to be using the Gel Play Bling On, the Luxio Build, 2 other colors of Luxio gel polishes in the pink, the Luxio Gloss, and the Luxio Matte On. So I'm just going to do the second coat of color on my tip with the Prim. And curing for 30 seconds. Then I'm going to top coat it with the Matte On. I really want a matte base so my bow stands out because that's going to be glossy. This is the hero of my design. Now Matte On is has got a beautiful finish. It's almost velvet-like. Let me just wait for the lamp to finish for 30 seconds and we'll put on the Matte On top coat. Look how beautiful this color is. Just making sure that it's well covered. All over the tip. And this time it will go into the light again for another 30 seconds. I'm very excited to show you how to do this bow. I'm using the back of a form to create what I need to do for this bow. I'm using the glossy side of the form paper just to make sure that my products can be removed easily off it. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and paint it with the gel polish. I'm going to do a rectangle of about 3 centimeters wide by about 6 to 7 centimeters long. It's a nice thin coat. The color I'm using here is called Movement. Spreading it evenly across the whole strip. Just removing, there's a little something that's popping up in the color here. And I want to use this color to blend in as well, which is called Insight. Insight has got a bit of a pearl finish. This is why I want to use it, and just basically blend it into this other color here. Just blending the two together. And it's also going to soften the first color that I used. I am cleaning my brush before I go and pop it back into the bottle. Beautiful thin coat. Now, because it's a form paper, it's likely to curl under the light. So what I'm going to do is hold the paper down with my Akzentz file in the light. You'll notice that there's a bit of a split there. Before I pop it into the light, I'll go back in and make sure that that's fully coated. It's likely to happen because of the greasiness of the form. There we go. Into the light for 30 seconds. Being held down with the file so it stays flat as well and the paper won't curl. Whilst that's in the light, I'm going to wipe clean the inhibition layer, which is on my matte-on top coat, using some Prep and Wipe soaked on this lint-free wipe. Now that'll be ready for when I'm ready to attach my bow to that. This has been in the light for 30 seconds, and I'm going to do a second coat. This time just using the inside color. Nice thin coat again. And I'm popping it back into the light, held down with my file so it stays flat. When it comes out of the light, I'm going to top coat it with the gloss. Now I need to explain something here to you. Gloss has got an inhibition layer. Therefore, it is a soft, pliable finish. We don't use Shine On, for example, which has got a no tacky layer. There is no tacky layer once it's been cured. It is a harder substance because it's got no tacky layer. So because we want this to be still flexible, we need to use the softer gel, which is the gloss. Again, we're going to go through and apply a really thin coat of the gloss. As you can see, I'm really spreading my bristles here to make sure that the product is nicely spread, evenly spread, and nice and thin. It's important to have it evenly spread because you don't want to have thicker sections in your strip here. It doesn't matter that you go over the edges either, just to make sure that you've got it well covered and totally coated in the gloss. Now back into the light for 30 seconds to finish curing. Once it comes out of the light, I'm going to clean the surface of it with some prep and wipe. Just getting that ready. Over the whole surface. Now you can separate it from the form, and look, it just simply pops off. If you would see some glossiness here on the back of this strip that we've played, this was the side which was against the form. If there was a bit of glossiness, that area hasn't cured properly, so you would wipe it off. But in this case, it's all even and nice. And look how thin it is. It's like a sheet of paper. And so flexible. Once you learn how to do this technique, the imagination can go wild. Like today, I'm only showing you how to do a bow, but you can do other things if you're interested in doing and getting creative with fantasy pieces. So now I'm going to go ahead and trim all 4 edges and make it nice and clean and tidy. Just with a pair of scissors, you go along and you could trim it straight. You can do it as big as or as little as you like. And this is a good thing to do when you've got some downtime, that you can prepare the bow if your clients are the clients that like to have 3D elements on their nails. Otherwise, you can just do it for fun and make other things with it. All right, so now I'm going to measure out this strip and get it ready to cut into, I need to get 9 little strips. And so what I'm doing, I've got a ruler here and a felt tip marker, which is quite thin. Placing the ruler along the strip here, getting a nice start to finish. And every ½ centimeter, I'm doing a little line. So these are my guides to cut nice straight strips. You can do it all the way across, or you can just do as many as you need. As I said, you need 9 little strips to do this bow. I'm going to go ahead and do another one here. Oopsie. Make it on the edge. Just like that. Okay. Now with the scissors, I'm going to cut out my strips, just like this. And see the little black lines are your guides to cut them straight. And so what I need 9 of them like this. I'm just going to cut another one from the one I prepared earlier because I have got them pre-prepared. And this is the same color as what I created earlier. There. And there. I'll just cut 2. On the same side that I marked it, I'm then going to go ahead and draw out the shape that I need to cut this strip into. And I'm going in at about 1/3 of the edge up here. And coming out to the center and going back in 1/3 from this side. Swish it around, hold it there, 1/3 in. And back round, 1/3 into this side, oopsie, to the center. So you've kind of got a bit of a diamond shape here. Okay, I'm going to cut that. Right along the line, nice and clean, like that. And again. Like that. Now, you're probably wondering that why there's still a black mark there. Well, that's from your marker, of course. But I'm not worried because all I'm going to do is get a piece of lint-free wipe soaked in Prep and Wipe and just wipe it off. It's an ink that you've applied on there and it's easily wiped off with the Prep and Wipe. There you go. There's no more marks left. I'm going to do the same for this other little one because there's the little dashes from where I needed to cut it. And for this one, because I've already prepared my loops that I need, I've actually got here 7 that I've already prepared into loops. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. But for this one here, which is going to be for the ribbons, I'm just going to cut that in half right down the smack in the center. Just like that. Cutting one into the diagonal there and one into the diagonal there. Okay, I'm putting them to one side. Now, to create my loops, I've got my shiny side and my opaque side. Obviously, the opaque side is the center. I'm just going to curl it right down the center and join the 2 bits here, the 2 ends here. And to join the 2 ends, I'm going to use the build gel. Okay. Just dab a little bit in the end. And then using a cross tweezer like this one, because it closes when you release it, it's perfect for you to be able to put this into the light. So I'm just going to pinch it right there at the end, hold it in place like that. You can pinch it a little bit further back if you like that, and then into the light for 30 seconds. So the idea is that when you're going to place your bows, your loops for your bow onto your tip, is to place them with all these little points joining in the center, just like that. Let me just use this tool here so I can push them around and show you exactly what I want to do as I apply them to the tip. Like that. Now I need one more for this one. Which is the one we've just created. So as you can see, it's actually quite long and it hasn't got that point at the end. So to achieve that, all you need to do is cut from this side in, twist it over and cut from this side in. See, it's got the point. Just going to center it again into that corner there. And it's ready to be placed with its friends, the other loops. Like that. Now, we need to attach this to the tip that we prepared earlier, which is this one here. To do that, we're going to use the Bling On Play Gel, Gel Play Bling On Gel. So this is a great gel for all embellishments that you stick to a nail, like your crystals, or bullions, anything like that. Because this is a 3D element, it is ideal for it to stick to the nail. I'm going to be using my brush here, the Art 1 brush, which is a tiny little brush, liner brush. And I need to scoop out. Now, the viscosity of this gel is quite firm and almost solid. It doesn't move, and it's actually quite, it doesn't self-level or anything like that. So it's perfect to be able to apply the bling where I want it, because it's not going to move and the bling is going to stay right in that location. So I'm going to place my bow about here on the tip. Making sure I remove any excess that I don't want. So I don't want a big, massive bead of gel on there. I just don't want it to get messy. Now, I'm just looking for a pair of tweezers that I had earlier. Here we go. With the tweezers, I'm going to pick up these little bows, loops, and I'm going to place it on here. I'm going to place it one there. The next one is going to go opposite that one, like here. As you can see, I'm kind of sliding it into the gel from the side, because that way it's going to be nicely attaching into the gel. And it's not going to be drooping down the nail, if that makes sense. Oopsie. And the opposite side here. Just like that. And now just pushing them in, making sure they're all sitting nicely, making sure they're happy looking. Now there's a big bead in the center that's sticking up. I need to flatten that a little bit because I need to apply another bead in the center once it comes out of the light from curing this. So all I've done is just scooped it off gently. And now because I did make a little bit of an adjustment again, making sure that they are all sitting happy. I am also pushing up a little bit, so from here up, that way the bow has got dimension and it doesn't look flat, like it's drooping and sitting flat on that tip. Whilst it's in the light for 30 seconds, I've got these little bits here. So that's the shiny side. these are the ribbons. Now, as you can see, these ones worked out a little bit straight. So all I'm going to do is give it a bend. Like that. So it looks like it's been curled. I can even possibly curl it with the back end of my scissor. It gives it a curl, but you do need to make sure that it also goes the other way. Like that. See, it's got a kink to it. Now I'm going to apply the second layer of loops. And I need to again place another small bead of the gem gel in the center here. Again, being careful to not smother it everywhere, because I don't particularly like a mess. I like it nice and tidy. There's a little bead there. Now with my tweezers, picking up. This time, I'm going in between each of the previous loops. So it's going to sit in between the loops. And that's going to look like it's got the double fluffiness of the bow. Oopsie. You may need to turn it around so it sits a little bit nicer. Like that. It's a little bit fiddly. Once you've got it, it's ready. And again, opposite side. Oops. Don't let the tweezers flick it away, just like I did then. Come on. It's not listening. Okay, I'm going to have to cure these two. It's a little bit tricky putting them and making sure that they stay in place. So I'm going to cure that. Just give it a flash cure so it holds 10 seconds or 5 seconds. Enough for you to be able to hold it in place so you can apply the other two. After all, you will give it a full cure at the end. All right, again. Another little bit of gel in the center here. And I've done like a band across the whole center from side to side here. Placing the two leftover loops, just like that. Okay, and into the light for 30 seconds. Whilst that's in the light, I'm going to bend. Oops, that was only 5. I'm going to bend the other little ribbon because I want it to stay in that shape and not go straight on me. I'm going to apply a small amount of the build gel. The build gel is a harder gel, just on the back here. For it to hold its shape. And I'm going to pop it into the lamp just to cure. Just holding it under the light. I will do the same for the other little piece. It's very tiny, so you do need tweezers. Okay, in the light, you're kind of making it wavy. Doing the same for the other side, the other little ribbon. And I'm applying it to the opaque side because that's going to be the side that's facing down. Again, I've bent it and it's going into the lamp for 30 seconds. It's just sitting in there. Now that this one has come out of the light, I'm going to apply my crystal in the center, again with my Bling On gel. Just getting a little bit with my brush, placing it in the center. Now, I don't want the crystal to be overpowered by gel and the gel all being smothering my crystal. So I put just a small amount. So when the crystal is applied to that little bead, it squishes it down and everything is covered nicely under the crystal, just like that. Into the light to cure for 30 seconds so the crystal is held. Now these little ribbons have cured, and I'm just going to remove the inhibition layer with some prep and white from underneath there. See, I've wiped it and it's still staying curly, which is nice. Then it's got like dimension and it's got character and it's got life because it's got flow. Okay, I'm going to apply them to my tip. Again, using the Bling On gel. I'm going to apply it to the base here. So then I can slide the ribbon where I'd like it to go. Now, the trick is getting the right side on the right side. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. I'm just sliding it under the bottom bow here, like that. And what I mean that the right side, so this little angle is usually nicely cut into the center like that. So that's what I mean. So the other one is the same. Now, some people may do it the opposite way where they'll cut them like this and place them sort of like the angles are opposite each other. I like them to be sort of like this, if that makes sense. I'm going to tuck this one in. There's enough gel under there that I can tuck it in and it will hold in place as well. Without it being messy, like that. I'm going to pop that into the light for 30 seconds. Now, once it comes out of the light, you've got an option of whether you would like to hold the little ribbons down onto your tip or your nail by just holding them in there like that. And to do that, you do still need to attach a little bit of the bling on gel and hold it in place under the light. So I'll do that just to show you. I'm holding it against the tip like that. And I'm going to pop it under the light. Just a flash cure so you can then release it under the light. But first of all, I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the other piece here. So I had a little bit of the bling on gel still on my brush, and now I'm going to hold it in place like that and hold it under the light until it sort of grabs. Beautiful. And leave it in there for 30 seconds. And here's the finished product. Before I do though, there's a little bit of the gel showing here on the end. And because that's glossy, it's showing quite strongly in my view because it's against a matte base. So all I'm going to do is reapply my matte color, my matte top coat in the space where I can see the gloss from the bling on gel. Just in there and around. Just to finish it off nicely, then it looks really, it's nice to not see where you started and when you finished when you're doing like three-dimensional work. That's just my thing, but I'm going to pop it into the light again for 30 seconds. Now that will need a wipe down, so I'll just be ready with my lint-free wipe and prep and wipe, ready to wipe it down to show you the finished product. Just waiting for it. And wiping it down. Everywhere that I put the top coat back on again, I'm wiping. Beautiful. Then there's no glossiness left behind. The hero of the piece is the little bow against a matte finish background. And there you go. I'll just show it to you on the side view. because it's still flexible, I can actually prop these up a little bit and adjust them so they look more fluffy, let's say, like that. How beautiful is it? Really love it. I've really enjoyed showing you today how to do these 3D bows with gel polish. I hope you can actually experiment some more and really bring your creativity out. Good luck and have fun. Thank you.